Hey, your Uncle Cooper here. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Goldie, my niece, your cousin, and Goldie didn't know which tires were right for her. The first ones were too much tire, and then the next ones were not enough tire. Anyway, long story short, Goldie found the Coopers, and they were just right. What a happy, practical ending. Go to sleep. I love you. Go with the Coopers. Cooper!
Karting and motorsport enthusiasts, Lucas Oil School of Racing is America's #1 Formula Car race school. Enjoy modern paddle shifters, pit speed limiter, and onboard video along with integrated data systems. Get started today with our 2-day basic or advanced course. Lucas Oil School of Racing is the official school of the road to Indy. We can also qualify you for your SCCA license. Get started today by visiting us at www.lucasraceschool.com.
With over 40 years in business, High Tide Boat Lifts is committed to elevating your craft. Whether you own a personal watercraft or a large yacht, we can design and create the perfect lift for your needs. At High Tide Boat Lifts, we understand that you've worked hard to get to a successful place in life. We'll ensure you have a hassle-free experience, maximizing the time you spend on your boat with family and friends, and supporting your dreams out on the open water.
As your uncle, I want you to know that on the road of life, there will be rough spots, and they will chew up your tires. I recently took a road trip to Greensville to attend a chili cook-off. Rough roads all the way down. I drove there on these Cooper Discoverer and Duramax tires. You know, they're made with the durability of off-road tires, but for on-road driving. Without them, we might never know the winning bean-to-meat ratio of a good chili. And those are the things in life, my friend, worth driving towards. So go with the Coopers. Cooper! I'm hungry now.
Kiko Porto, Michael D'Orlando, side by side, turn 5, 6, all the way through the carousel, through the kink side by side. Some tremendous racing, great respect shown by both of those competitors. We're going to try to do it all over again. Kiko Porto on the pole once again for D-Force Racing. He is the new point leader as well, but 25 drivers set to go to see who's going to do it. Let's have a look at the grid. Just about 3 minutes before we fire these engines up. Let's start looking through the order, starting 25th. In the number 42, the rookie Michael Myers, starting 25th. Road number 12 on the outside for Miller Vinatieri Motorsports. It will be Kent Vaccaro. In the number 16, he'll be alongside the Joe Dueling Autosport driver Trey Burke in the number 63. Row number 11. Billy Fraser and Peter Vodanovic, both those drivers from New Zealand. It'll be Fraser on the outside in the 91 for Exclusive Autosport, Vodanovic on the inside in the number 9 for Jay Howard Driver Development. Moving now to row number 10, Jackson Lee for Jay Howard will start the number 8 from 20th. Inside of that row for Ignite Autosport with Cape Motorsports, it is Evan Stammer. Row number 9 has Mike Miles row on the outside in the number 99 Force Indy machine. Inside of that row for Velocity Racing Development, the 29 of Eric Evans. Row 8, Dylan Christie, the rookie in the Turn 3 Motorsports car, the number 34 starting 16th. Keep an eye on the 44, though. 15th for Christian Brooks, 3rd in the points for Exclusive Autosport. He will be working hard to get himself back forward. Row number 7 will be Jace Denmark, the rookie out of Arizona for Pabst Racing in the 23. Inside of that row from England, Matt Round-Garrido in the 92 for Exclusive Autosport. Row 6 has Bajoy Garg on the outside in the number 6 machine. Inside of that row, last year's Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series champion, Eli Navarro. Row 5 will be Simon Sykes and Yuvan Sunder-Amurthy. Row 4, Spike Kohlbecker alongside Thomas Nepvu, both drivers running for Cape. Kohlbecker 3rd yesterday in the Ignite Autosport car. Row 3 will have Josh Green in the 33 for Turn 3 alongside Josh Pearson out of the Pacific Northwest in the Pabst Racing number 24. Row number 2 will be Michael D'Orlando starting in the 4th position. P2 yesterday. He'll try to go for another race win. Got a victory at the Lucas Oil Raceway in the Freedom 75. D'Orlando in the Cape Motorsports car starting in 4th. Inside of that row, winner from Barber Motorsports Park earlier this year for D-Force Racing, it's Prescott Campbell. D-Force 1, 2, 3 in qualifying, and they lock out the front row. On the outside from Palo Alto, California, 3rd-year driver Nolan Siegel in the number 10. And as I said before, Kiko Porto, victory yesterday, and he is now starting on the pole once again, going for race win number 3 on the season. Porto and Siegel on the front row, but folks, we're ready to fire things up. 25 drivers ready to light the fires, and joining me down here on pit lane right now with the command from Elite Engines, Logan Knapp.
Road to Indy drivers, start your Elite engines.
Engines firing, we are underway. Eric, Greg, it's going to be a great race. 25 cars have lit up.
Thank you, Rob and Greg. As he said, it's going to be a great race. And like you said, today you just turn it to 11, right? You got to go for it. It's the end of the weekend for these USF2000 competitors. This is what they had all the testing for and all the practice for. Race 1 kind of sets you up for the points, and race 2 is you got to attack the racetrack.
You do, and you know we're starting into the second half of the season, so this is where you can't let up. You know what I mean? This is a time where if you start to think, well, I'm going to protect stuff a little bit, you can get swamped. Things can happen in a hurry, and for the drivers, and again, we have to keep you're talking about Christian Brooks, who's right in that points chase. Biggest thing for him here in this first lap is survive. You know, we've seen some incidents here, obviously, and it's open wheel, close quarters racing with a big field, and he's got to get to that first lap, get settled. Anything he can do in that first lap to make up some spots is huge, but the last thing you want to do is have a problem and find yourself, dropping down the points. And we know the front end of this, these guys are going to be just getting serious about it right from the off.
We talk a lot of times about youthful exuberance, but this group yesterday showed an incredible amount of patience while racing, side by side for almost a half a lap.
Oh, it's amazing.
Battle for the lead was incredible. And obviously in Indy Pro, we had a little bit of an incident over in Turn 3 on the start, the opening lap, and in Indy Lights we did as well. This is the group you kind of anticipate that from just because of the youthfulness.
The young wild guys.
Right, and they were very patient yesterday, and I thought that all 3 races were of course great, but I thought this race specifically yesterday was fantastic.
I did too, and that lap you're talking about with Porto and D'Orlando, I mean, it was a half a lap, literally, side by side, and they gave each other just enough room, but it was just enough room, and the other guy said, I can work with that, and it was great respect. It was brilliance, and I've always said, you don't have to make it easy, you do have to make it possible, and those 2 guys showed you can do it.
Oh, absolutely, and having this Road to Indy format, where they're learning the racecraft, that's incredibly important to see that kind of development that both of those drivers had. And we saw those battles, not just up at the front. I mean, obviously we kind of highlight the battle up front, but there were battles throughout the field yesterday that were very clean, and it was just a situation where there's not a lot of real estate here. I mean, very honestly, you have 2 white lines that define the track, and if you get off, it is very difficult to maintain your spot. And we've seen, where just allowing just enough racing room is the difference between whether you end up in the gravel trap or not.
And Rob pointed out that of the 3 series, this is the one that most often goes flag to flag without a caution. These guys, and that comes from one, obviously, their team management, the coaches that they might have, but the team managers, the engineer, the strategists that are working with them, they've really worked with these guys to say, look, you don't achieve anything if you're broken at the side of the track. So be smart, get through these opening laps, then start your racing. And they really put on a clinic for that yesterday, and looking forward to this one again. And it's a big field, which makes it so fun because, as you said, everywhere you are, whether you're up front, whether you're mid-pack, you're at the back, you're in a heck of a battle with 2 or 3 other guys, and that just makes it fascinating.
Absolutely. Safety car collecting the field just in the kink at the moment. So we are about a half a lap, or about a third of a lap away from getting this race underway. These elite engines, of course, Logan gave our command, and what a great family, and is producing these engines for a long time for the series as well. Yeah. Wisconsin-based company.
Absolute stalwart in small bore open wheel formula racing for a long time, and I think the connection between RTI and Elite just makes so much sense, as you said, because one, they build engines that, for being small power plants in like USF2000 in particular, they still are very, very quick. But the other side of it, they are durable. You just don't see engine failures. These guys can get out there and race, and if you don't have that endurance where you can just put in laps, you're not going to learn. And so I think it's just a fascinating and literally an exemplary partnership.
Absolutely. Safety car has exited over in turn 13. The field is now 2 by 2, and we bring in to call the start of the action, Rob Houghton.
Yeah, no golf cart today. I had to run all the way back. I'm getting old. Field ready to go. As you guys said, it's an all D-Force front row. In fact, 1, 2, 3, all D-Force. Kiko Porter will lead them up here alongside Nolan Siegel. Hold your breath for turn 1 and turn 5, folks. We're getting ready to start the day's action. Your first wheel-to-wheel racing, the Cooper Tires USF2000 Championship. Up and over the hill. Porto on the pole. Green, green, green. One driver having trouble at the tail of the field. That's Trey Burke losing the front wing. Burke tried to get going. He lost the front wing. He'll be coming to pit lane. That wing's going to be laying potentially in the middle of the racetrack. We are green going down to turn 1 for the first time. It'll tuck all in. D-Force goes 1, 2, 3. Good start for the D-Force crew. Everybody else trying to get rolling. Again, Burke does not have that front wing, we believe, knocked off. Tried to get on the throttle early. Little lock up there down to turn number 3. Always hoping they can get through these first couple of corners cleanly.
Porto and Campbell had one heck of a jump on the field. They just timed it to perfection. And Eric, the guy at the back of the field, I think there's something wrong with that car. I was locking up, but there's just something wrong. I think he may have a damaged driveline.
Well, either that or something's hung up off of Burke's car into the brakes. It looks like the right front kept locking up on him a little bit.
There you can see Trey Burke there in the 63 with no front wing. There's the driver coming from the tail who has an issue. We'll find out who that is when they come back around. But, man, they stacked up traffic jam in turn 5 down there the first time through, 2, 3 wide. Everybody getting single file. You have to get single file by the time you get to turn number 7. That's where they are right now. Looks to me like, as well, the exclusive Autosport drivers are lined up, both Christian Brooks.
Impact in 7.
Looks like another driver off here at the at turn number 8 as well, but as Eric picked up trouble over in turn number 7.
Well, you talked about needing to be in single file going through 7 as the full course caution is called, understandably. And if you try something in 7, it's so easy to get it wrong and overrun that, and then you're sloping downhill right to the barrier.
Well, Aaron Telitz mentioned that in the Indy Lights coverage on Friday, that in the way that these cars kind of handle, you're almost flat out through well, you are flat out through 7.
Yeah,
it's a much more open corner than you think, physically looking at it, but it is a place where you can get into trouble. Very similar to the kink being side by side. It's a little treacherous.
This is actually going to help Trey Burke, who lost the front wing on the opening lap. He'll be able to come in and get that new wing on. We will go through the order when they come back around, kind of give you an update of who's the big movers are. And find out which drivers were involved in the incident. Obviously, one driver having trouble coming out of turn 3, then the incident in turn number 7 as well. We'll try to figure out exactly how things order up as they come back through here.
It'll be interesting to find out. I think we're going to really be having eyes on Christian Brooks as he is to come back now this day from 15th. We'll see where he is.
Well, the initial start would have been the place for Brooks to make some hay a little bit and kind of get the benefit of that. Someone else has got a wing knocked off as well.
That looks like the wing was potentially underneath the car.
Yeah.
That was Miles Rowe. Here's the drivers coming further back that were involved in the incident as well. So here comes Trey Burke into pit lane. He'll get that new front wing on. We said, I believe, the 99 as well involved. Who else we've got coming in here? Looks like potentially one of the exclusive Autosport cars as well. Watching them come into their service. Yeah, it's the 92 of Matt Rangarito. Front wing damage as well. The number 5, Spike Kohlbecker, third yesterday.
Oh, no.
Kohlbecker with some damage, too.
That looks like Kohlbecker's wing, actually.
Here's
maybe off as well.
And Brooks, 15th to 11th.
Yeah,
Rob.
50, exactly that. Let's have a look at the order right now. Kiko Porto, Prescott Campbell, and Nolan Siegel able to get out 1, 2, 3. D-Force had a good jump there. In the 4th spot is Thomas Snepvu. Michael D'Orlando 5th. 6th is Josh Pearson. 7th, Simon Sykes. Simon started 10th up into 7th, so a good start for Simon. Josh Green 8th. Bajoy Garg 9th. Jace Denmark in 10th, and as you said, Greg, Christian Brooks started 15th up into 11th, so good start for him.
The benefit of the full course yellow right now, the guys that do need to make nose changes, this is a very long yellow flag lap.
Very true.
Being 4 mile course,
that's it.
It's a very long yellow flag lap. So they've got plenty of time, no rush, do it right. Make sure everything else is okay on the car before you release from pit lane.
Looks like the driver's not coming back around. Eric Evans and Peter Vodanovic. Evans is the driver who got into it with Billy Fraser in turn 6 yesterday, so not a good weekend for Eric. It looks like he'll be a DNF again in the number 29. Peter Vodanovic, the Kiwi driver. Actually, Vodanovic is back in. He's rolling. I wonder if it's a transponder issue then for Vodanovic, because I just watched him leave his pit box.
That might have been the car that was having problems over in turn 3 that was locking up the right front going into turn 1 as well as turn 3. That might have been our slow victim on lap 1 there.
I think you might be right. And again, I believe that the India driver off. We actually don't have a camera where that incident would have been, just missing it on one of our track cams. I think that might have been Eric Evans off in turn number 7. But nonetheless, we have pressed the reset button and we're back at it here as the drivers getting themselves into position.
And I saw the AMR safety trucks doing their recirc and getting into position, so that's usually a good indicator that we might be going green pretty quickly.
12-lap race as it was yesterday for the drivers here in USF2000, the very first rung of the road to Indy. Those of you around the racetrack, hope you're enjoying a nice morning coffee and enjoying the sounds of 25 USF2000 drivers. 170 horsepower behind each driver, and as the guys issued earlier, elite engines. Steve Knapp, Logan Knapp, the shop located very close to the racetrack here in West Bend. Steve Knapp, of course, been around a long time in the open wheel formula. Racer himself, 1998 Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year as well.
Great family.
It's fantastic.
Great
family,
family.
no doubt about it. And we're proud to call them partners of the road to Indy as well. And the dedication, the time they put into these engines, both in USF 2000 and Indy Pro. Our new Indy Pro engine this year, we've got dialed up the reliability a little bit, 250 horsepower. The engines have been fantastic all year long. Same here in USF 2000, but let's see what happens here. D-Force getting the start they wanted, able to get cleanly through 1, 2, and 3, and off and running. Kiko Porto, a lot of confidence, guys. We talked to him yesterday in the press conference here in the media center, and just a lot of confidence. The interesting thing we talked about, Parker Thompson and I did in the pre-show, he'd never been here before. So we raced here last year. He's from Brazil, wasn't able to get out of Brazil to come to the race. He's never been here before. The test on Thursday was the first time he's ever been on the racetrack, and I think he was P1 for most of the session. So did a lot of sim work to get a feel for the racetrack, but man, you show the talent when you can come out here and do that.
Well, and when you've never been here before, and then you run that half lap side by side with a fierce competitor, that tells you how quickly you adapted to it. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here.
Let's have a look at that incident that was coming through turn number 7. Top left, driver going straight off that corner.
Easy to do. Hit the tires. Once you get in the grass, I mean, obviously there's no grip there. So
you're done. Yeah.
Yeah. Green is bad, and then unfortunately took out one of the placards on the side of the race course.
And here's the lockup down here. We were like, that's Spike Kohlbecker. He had lost his front wing. You don't have that front wing. You're not going to be able to have that turn in, right? You need the air, the downforce.
So I'm wondering where that wing came off, because he had the wing, I believe, still over in the front half of the field. So that may have come off. Did they have contact in 7?
Nah, I don't think so, because Kohlbecker started 8th and Evans was 17th. Unless there was a shakeup and he potentially got moved backward.
Yeah.
I don't know that those two drivers were together. But indeed, Eric Evans going off, as you saw at the top of the screen there. Just and you wonder, because that's a flat-out corner. You wonder if maybe he got into the curbing on the inside potentially and shot the car sideways. It could have been a mechanical failure as well. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that corner is so fast, it's off camber, so you have anything that unsettles the car. And if you've got your track out point already on that curb, and then you get something that scoots the car a little bit, you're just off into that grass, which, as you said, Eric, one, it's damp maybe from overnight dew and the like, but it also slopes downward, so
yeah, absolutely.
It's a tricky corner.
Well, you bring up a good point. I mean, you've got the short run from 6 to 7. The car is coming over in the rumble strips on the exit of 6. It's real easy for that car to kind of unload, and then you have to try to catch it and quickly rotate it back to the right with that short distance. And a lot of times it's very easy to miss the apex entry for 7, especially if you go wide in 6. If you overrun and miss your mark in 6, it's easy to really complicate turn 7.
Also a possibility that somebody got into the back of them as well. As I was detailing as the drivers were coming through, that's really the first part of this racetrack on the opening lap where you have to get single file. You can't really go double file through there. Maybe someone tried to get into the inside of them or tapped Eric from the back, whatever it may be, but you can see the car just literally shot off the racing line as soon as it hit that grass, picking up speed. And that's why the tires are there in that particular part of the racetrack, because you can get there pretty quickly. But again, Kiko Porto, just like yesterday, going to have to handle a restart. Porto, the Brazilian, new point leader right now as well. Prescott Campbell in second, Nolan Siegel third, Thomas Nepvu in fourth, and Michael D'Orlando in fifth spot. Steve Wittick from TSOladder.com, watching at home and covering the race here, said that Yuvan Sundermurthy had to pit as well. Sundermurthy really started essentially right behind Kohlbecker, so that might have been the contact. Kohlbecker and Sundermurthy, those two drivers running together. Also, more information from one of my spotters being told the number 16 is going to get a penalty for pulling out too early on the start, being asked to move to the tail of the field. Ooh. The 16 of Kent Vaccaro, that's really where he started anyways, but yeah, so Vaccaro's going to have to go to the back of the pack here too.
Well, for all those guys who pitted, Rob, you made the point, this extra caution lap here has allowed them to get to the back of the field, and they're back in the fight now. Yeah,
Trey Burke's got the wing on it. Matt Roungarito, keep an eye out for Matt Roungarito in the 92. He's starting at the very tail of the field as well. He'll be trying to work his way forward quickly. No one losing any laps. One driver out, Eric Evans for Velocity Racing Development. Hopefully we'll go green this time by, getting back at it field, working its way through Kettle Bottoms.
Wait, Yuvan Sundermurthy's championship chase has just come off the rails here at a track that they were expecting, I'm sure, to be very, very good at. It's just strange. 2
wins at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the road course for Yuvan. Came in with a point lead, about 13 markers up on Kiko Porto. That has all gone away. It's been a tough weekend, especially for the guy. He's from Wisconsin. He goes to the University of Wisconsin, lives in Delafield. This is his home race. This is the one race you want to do well at, and the team's been struggling a little bit. Out of 14, and indeed, we're going to go back racing. Drivers on the throttle coming back up the hill here now. Kiko Porto will lead them, and we are back to green. Flag waving here at start-finish. And we're back at it, as I said. Keep an eye for some of the drivers further back. Look for Matt Roungarito to get aggressive right out of the gate to try to get himself back where he needs to be. He's got a run on Trey Burke. Kiko Porto, here's a good shot at turn 1. We got a side-by-side battle. Look at D'Orlando's been able to get by Nolan Siegel. So Michael D'Orlando was the aggressive driver yesterday. Opening lap was able to go right to P2 behind Porto, then put the pressure on him. He's already up to third as well. D'Orlando coming off that win at Lucas Oil Raceway on the Oval at the Freedom 75. A lot of confidence for that young driver in New York right now.
We talk about it. Big momentum is huge, especially in driver confidence.
Well, that was a massive move. I mean, that was 5th to 3rd. So he really had that figured out and executed it absolutely beautifully. And look at this now.
3 wide for the lead into 5.
Look at D'Orlando.
Wow.
Michael D'Orlando to the inside. Book it. He gets through the bottom, but how are they coming up to turn number 6? He indeed holds on to the spot. What a run for Michael D'Orlando. Thomas Nepvu getting racing in there as well. 3 wide into turn number 5, and they all come out the other side. Kudos to the USF2000 drivers.
And 2 straight overtakes of double cars. I mean, if you can pass 1, why not do 2? I guess 5th to 3rd to 1st.
2 for 1 sale.
Yeah, we said in the pre-race, Greg. You know, we said in the pre-race that you had to attack the racetrack on day 2. So I guess Michael D'Orlando got the message.
He got the message.
Ooh, that was close right there. Nepvu battling it out with, I believe, Nolan Siegel. Nepvu's been on the move here, too. Look at this. Oh, 2 wide through the kink again. Somebody dropped the wheel on the inside there. I can't believe we didn't have contact. Again, too wide to the kink. These drivers going at it here. And again, I always say this about Road America. Midway through the season, the rookies have a lot more confidence. You see them punching above their weight class right now. And this is all these drivers' confidence in their cars. If you can go too wide through the kink, you're feeling pretty good.
And again, cooler temperatures today, so the aero's going to help draw those cars down to the racetrack as opposed to Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the 80s, upper 80s. So a little bit cooler conditions here this morning. Sun baking the racetrack early today. So a little bit of track temperature, but cooler air conditions, always a benefit for these cars.
Indeed. Kiko Porto, point leader and leading the race right now over Prescott Campbell. They're going to try to pull away. More side-by-side racing coming up the front straightaway, as you see. There's 3 wide all the way down into turn 1 further back. How's that going to play out? Looks like coming through cleanly there, side by side again, coming through the corner there.
And you know what, guys? It wasn't D'Orlando.
It was
Nepfu.
That's Thomas Nepfu who made that move.
Holy cow.
Again, exactly the same liveries on the Cape cars, so that was actually Thomas Nepfu, the best we've seen out of young Thomas. Top national karter out of Quebec, Canada. Thomas ran F4 last year, and thrilled to have him part of the program as a rookie here. And there, again, the rookie stepping up. We thought that was D'Orlando again. It was actually Thomas Nepfu. What a run for Thomas Nepfu. Indeed, there it is, the number 2 machine. There's the 4. Exactly the same liveries. Trouble there. One driver on the outside. I think that might have been Majoy Gard. Gets pushed over to the side of the rumbles on the entry to 5.
That's Kiko going around the outside up into turn 6 to get around Nepfu. And
I think Nepfu got it back.
I think he did. And his best finish this year has been a 5th, I think, in Indianapolis. So what a turnabout for Thomas Nepfu.
And Cape Motorsports getting back to the front. They obviously learned something from yesterday with D'Orlando finishing P2 and Kohlbecker P3. So they have really dialed the car, and Nicholas and Dominic Cape figuring things out here midway through the weekend. Could Thomas Nepfu come away with a race win here? That would be huge for the young Canadian. Through the carousel now. Thomas Nepfu will lead him through the kink. The 2 D-Force drivers right there. D'Orlando running in the 4th spot as he's been able to get by Nolan Siegel. Simon Sykes, again, what a tremendous weekend has been for Simon Sykes. He's up into 6th position.
Watch down into Canada. Kiko working rounded it up around the outside.
Oh, this is nuts.
Made it work.
Somehow they made it
That's
work.
Prescott Campbell, guys, in the number 11. That was Campbell that went around the outside. Kiko peeled a little bit. I'm not sure what happened to Kiko. I believe that's the 11 right now of Prescott Campbell. Winner at Barber Motorsports Park, 2nd year of the series.
And Christian Brooks was now up into the top 10 from that 15 starting spot, sitting 9th last time. We'll see where he is now.
And I'll tell you this about Prescott Campbell. This is interesting. He's either going to be a professional race car driver or he's going to be an engineer. He goes to Oxford in the UK for school. This guy is unbelievably. Anytime we have a STEM program in the paddock, it's Prescott Campbell. He's our guy to go to. A cerebral guy, really smart. Heck of a driver as well. You can see the talent he's showing here. Campbell in the middle of a good battle. I think it looks like
Nolan Siegel.
Nepfu back
just
to the lead.
Back around. Yeah, he went around the outside up into 1, made it stick, and finished it off at the exit at 3. That was beautiful.
Yeah, Nolan Siegel up into the 3rd spot there now.
I'll tell you this too, all this racing up front is perfect for Christian Brooks. Started at the back.
Yep.
Had they lined up and pulled away, he might have been in trouble. Brooks, you can see, look at, here's Brooks coming in here as we're 2-3 wide again. Brooks right on the rear, weighing now of, I believe, I think it might have been actually D'Orlando.
And look at this, these D-Force guys scrapping behind side by side with Campbell and Siegel, and that's allowing Nepfu to just check out.
2 wide coming through. This is ridiculous
Just
right
roll
now.
the dice at this point.
Unbelievable racing.
Truly.
USF2000 putting on a show right now. If you're down at turn 5, you're loving it because we have seen pass after pass, 2 wide. These guys are going at it. Thomas Nepfu, though, taking advantage of the battling behind him to pull out to a little bit of a lead. The Canadian pacing the way. When he runs with in his karting program, still races a lot of karting events, runs with PSL Karting. We see him at a lot of the top national events, Superkarts USA events in the Pro Tour. And but focusing, as we said, 100% focus on trying to learn the craft here in USF2000. He's pulling out to a nice little lead here. Christian Brooks battling it out with Michael D'Orlando as well. You can see that fight through Kettle Bottom. He's trying the outside coming out through turn number 12, Canada corner. This is a tremendous battle. And I'll tell you who else is coming forward as well. Check out the number 23 of Jace Denmark. I think he may have just been able to get by one of the D-Force drivers.
I was just looking at that, and Jay started back in 14th. And last time by, it cracked the top 5. As you said, he may be 4th now.
That's amazing. What a great run for this rookie. And again, this is that rookie race where they can start to step up. They always do. Ooh, a little block back there further back. That's Miles Rowe trying to block, I believe, Uven Sooner-Murthy coming back up the hill.
That was pretty sturdy.
A little aggressive.
A little aggressive, yeah, absolutely.
Aggressive.
Oh, look at this. A pack of 5 of them running side by each and still doing it now through 1. Look at this group.
2 by 2 by 2.
Yeah, hold your breath there. Evan Stammer on the inside. The Margay Ignite karting superstar running in the Ignite Autosport with Cape Motorsports entry. Evan in the middle of a great battle with Uven Sooner-Murthy and Miles Rowe with the Force Indy driver, the number 99.
But the difference here is that's not for a position where you normally would see Sooner-Murthy. That's for 14th, 15th, 16th right now.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Look at this, folks. Simon Sykes down the inside.
3 wide into 5 in the back.
Josh Green on the outside of that corner. But Simon Sykes, the man on the move right now, he has gone to P2 in the Legacy Autosport machine. 2 national championship runoff victories here last year. Formula Ford and Formula Continental. And I'll tell you, Simon Sykes on the move right now. Could he get a victory for the Legacy Autosport team? I think he may be, no, it's not. I was thinking that might have been the lead. We'll have a look again when they come back around. He's the new leader.
Wow.
Simon Sykes has got to be 1. What a drive for Simon.
I think when it comes to Road America, he's comfy.
I agree with you. Oh, he's in the second.
He's in the second, yeah.
I forgot that Nepfu's gone another zip code already. Thomas Nepfu, long gone. We'll see if Simon's able to reel in. So it's Sykes into second.
Well, Sykes just absolutely great run, but oh, look at that. Exit of the kink, heading into Canada, 2 by 2 again. But Nepfu just took advantage of those guys in the D-Force car scrapping behind him, and he just checked out. And a guy off at the exit at 12.
One of the, that's the number 8 of Jackson Lee. Jackson was running in the 11th spot, went on the outside of Canada. A lot of action here in USF2000. We'll have a look at the gap for Thomas Nepfu. What a great run for Thomas. We'll also look at lap times to see if Sykes is closing at all when they come by here to get this lap in. Lap 7 in the books. Sykes was significantly slower on that last lap, 1.2 second the lead for Nepfu. Actually, no, he was 2/10 quicker. A 2:11.4 for Simon Sykes, 2:11.6 for Nepfu. He gets to within 1.2 seconds, 5 to go. He's going to have a couple of tenths a lap if he wants to reel him in.
And Christian Brooks, watching his march, he's now 6th, and we keep bringing that up because he's also a points player.
3rd in points coming in here now. Kiko Portal, the leader. Portal falling back to P9. Not sure what happened there. We saw Kiko fall to the back. So 9th right now for the point leader. And anytime you're in the points championship, as long as you're beating the point leader, you're gaining points right now. And there you see Christian Brooks in the white and red exclusive Autosport machine as he's now going to work on Nolan Siegel and Jace Denmark.
Just saw a car, his front wing was completely loose and bouncing as they went down into turn 5. And the other guy who's struggling a bit is D'Orlando. He has dropped back, and right now it's outside of the top 10. So
what has happened?
Struggles for Kiko and D'Orlando.
Yeah, they're first and 3rd in points. Uven Sooner-Murthy all the way back there as well. We know Uven's down quite a ways as well. He's in the 15th spot.
Somebody around an 8.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed, a driver has gone around, potentially one of the D-Force drivers around in turn number 8. See if he's able to get that car refired.
Yeah, it looks like the car's running, so just going to be slow to get back
there
on their way.
If we hold this camera here, we'll be able to kind of tell you who it is. No, it's one of the D-Force drivers from up front.
I think that's the car that I saw because that wing was flopping, and down into turn 5, it was almost absolutely vertical to the airstream. So that wing right now is, totally ineffective, and that may have been what spit him out at 8.
Simon Sykes most definitely closing up here now on Thomas Nepfu. Prescott Campbell there with him as well. Josh Pearson, I think, battling it out with Christian Brooks. Yeah, there's the wing. That's D'Orlando. D'Orlando's got wing damage as well in the number 4. That's why he's fallen back. 2nd place in points right now, an issue. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in points. Currently running 9th for Porto, 11th for D'Orlando, 15th for Sooner-Murthy. What an opportunity here for Christian Brooks to gain some points.
You bet. And he's put out, we talked about it. He had to come from deep in the pack yesterday for that top 5. He knew he could do it today, and he's backing it up.
Josh Pearson running in that 5th position, trying to hold off Christian Brooks. 5th and 6th. Thomas Nepfu leading down to 0.8 of a second. Here comes Simon Sykes. trying to see if he can't get a race win here at Road America.
And Kiko has rebounded a little bit. He's picked up a couple of spots. So whatever the issue was, he may have figured a workaround for it.
Back to 7th, the number 10 coming into pit lane. Nolan Siegel into pit lane. Wow. Tough one for Nolan.
That was your spinner in 8, I believe.
There you go, indeed. One of the D-Force cars, as we had said. So around goes, and you can see D. Orlando again. There's a driver who's just gone off at turn 5 a little bit there, wide on the entry to turn number 5. And you see the issue with D. Orlando. That has got to be tough for him. You'd have, oh, there's trouble for Brooks. Brooks has got front wing damage as well, the 44. Brooks must have gotten to the back of Pearson. He's in 6th, but he's got Josh Green on him right now. Brooks trying to do whatever he can. That wing has fallen off. The wing is off on Brooks. He's going to have to try to limp his way home 4 more laps. Think about going through the kink with no front wing.
Well, the very spooky thing with that is if that wing falls off and lodges under a front wheel in a braking zone, you're just straight off the track. So Brooks sometimes it's a good deal when the wing falls.
Indeed. And then, listen, these new cars don't have near as much downforce, aero downforce as the older cars. More mechanical grip here. This is a good fight here. That's Jace Denmark and Josh Pearson going at it. That's, I believe, for 4th and 5th. Those are the 2 Pabst Racing teammates going at it. Behind them is that number 12 of Kiko Porto. And there's, the wing is gone for Christian Brooks, but I would assume he's going to try to soldier home to see whatever he can get. The point leaders are behind him. He's just got to hold on as much as he can.
The bigger question is where is the wing? Where did it end up?
That's true. Yeah, he's going to lose a spot here now to Josh Green, I believe. So again, Brooks just trying to hold on. 3 laps remaining. 12 lapper. Actually, I think it'll be 2 laps remaining when they come. No, lap 9 just going to the books. 3 laps to go. Brooks doing whatever he can to hold on. Loses another spot here. A couple drivers getting through.
Prescott Campbell on pit lane.
You're kidding me. Prescott Campbell, pit lane from 5th. So again, the opportunity here for some guys to make up points. The leader, I'm trying to find out as well. Where is our point leader, Kiko Porto? Yeah, there's D. Orlando into pit lane in his machine as well.
What? Dropping like flies.
This is crazy. What a swing in the championship. Watching this battle here for the lead. Simon Sykes on the outside at turn number 6. Sykes trying to get by. This is the battle for the lead here through turn number 7. That's Thomas Nephew and Simon Sykes. Neither of those drivers have been on the podium in 2021, and they are scrapping it out for a race win here at Road America. Here's Brooks trying to hold on Miles Rowe. Miles Rowe almost tossed it away. Good camera shot there as he dropped the left side tires into the dirt. Brooks doing everything he can to hold him off. Brooks now down, I believe, into the 10th position.
And you know what, guys? All of this activity with these front runners struggling, suddenly Sundar Murthy is in the top 10.
Isn't that wild?
Oh, there's your answer, maybe.
It's in the kink.
Oh, it's offline in a way.
I don't know that's somebody else's wing. That's not Brooks's wing.
No.
That's a different color. That looks like potentially a Jay Howard driver development wing. There's that fight for the lead still.
But it's mano a mano now, isn't it? Look at that gap.
And we saw Christian Brooks running in 6th. All the championship leaders were behind him. Now he has fallen. Kiko Porto's up to 5th. Sundar Murthy up into the 10th position right now. Prescott Campbell, Michael D. Orlando looks like he's out of the race. I don't know that they're even able to repair it, or they're maybe still trying to get that wing on, but this is crazy in terms of the championship. So 2 to go this time by for Thomas Nephew, but he is in the middle of a scrap right now. Big run. Here comes the draft on the front straightaway. Check it out going into turn number 1 here. Brooks is going to pit lane. Brooks to pit lane to get a new wing.
Sykes popped out, but popped back in the line into turn 1.
Indeed, Simon Sykes having a look at it there as Brooks will have that agonizing slow crawl down to his pit to try to get a wing on it.
And Porto has moved up now into 4th, getting around Jace Denmark.
Kiko Porto recovering and will stretch his point lead. It looked like everything was going to tighten up. Brooks coming into the 44 contact, I believe, between he and Josh Pearson. It's Nephew, Sykes, Pearson, Porto, and Denmark top 5. Green 6th, Kohlbecker back up to 7th. Kohlbecker to 7th.
Pass for the lead.
Let's see if he gets the stick down in turn number 6.
3 abreast into 5 behind him, Rob.
Back up the hill. And it's still Nephew holding on to the spot. Sykes back into 2nd, but they were 3 wide as Greg is headed to turn number 5. What a fight further back. Ooh, that was a bit of a shot off the curb. Coming out of turn number 6. Let's go to 7. Looks like all drivers able to get through cleanly here. What a run for guys like Kohlbecker and Sundermurthy to get himself back in the fight. He was back in, what, 19th or 20th at a point. Sundermurthy's got himself back up to 8th. Great recovery. Here's the fight for the lead. Let's stick with these guys here. Thomas Nepvu, Simon Sykes. There's that wing off to the side of the racetrack. Everybody knows where it is. We're staying clean and green.
This overtaking maybe down into Canada. He's in the draft for sure.
And you know, right now Josh Pearson's just hoping for something to happen.
That's
up
it.
front,
Yes. Pearson running a good run for Josh Pearson. P3 right now, able to get by his teammate Jace Denmark. He's up to 3rd for Pearson. The driver was in the tire barrier last year. White flag is going to fly this time by. Simon Sykes has done this before. As I said, won 2 national championships last year, the SCCA runoffs, Formula F, the Formula Ford Series, and as well Formula Continental. And let's see what he's got here. That's Pearson, and this is 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yeah,
here
come
we
the
go.
leaders. Final lap at USF2000. Block move to the bottom for Thomas Nepvu. Sykes going to try him around the outside of turn 1. Sykes to the outside. Side by side through 1. This is going to start a
still
crazy
side
lap.
by side.
Coming down into turn number 2, and indeed still side by side. Sykes trying to run the outside of turn 2. So hard to do. He holds them. This will be a drag race down to turn number 5.
Well, and the thing is, if you can pinch that guy, if you're around the outside, you can pinch his exit. It'll actually cost him exit speed in that run down into 5. But boy, tell you what, that was
what a run by
Nepvu just
Nepvu.
carried a lot of speed.
Especially getting pinched on the inside of the
Exactly.
This time, Sykes is going to try around the outside. This could be the over-under. No, he's going to try to hold the outside still. Simon Sykes going at it with Thomas Nepvu. What a race in USF 2000. We saw a great battle yesterday between Kiko Porto and Michael D'Orlando. And another Cape driver, this time Thomas Nepvu, and he's battling it out with Legacy Auto Sports, Simon Sykes.
Sundermurthy is up into the 7th spot.
Tremendous run for Juven. Yeah, for coming late. Good recovery after what's been a tough weekend for Juven. Here's the leaders coming now into the carousel. You got to figure one more shot at it for Simon Sykes down in Canada. Got to get through this carousel cleanly. Got to get that big run. We know the draft is huge here at USF 2000. Going to give himself just enough room so he can pull out at the right time. Set it up nicely. He's done this before. Here comes the run into Kettle Bottom. This is it. Does Sykes have anything for Nepvu? Oh, big draft. Sykes is going to try the inside. Here it is, the move to the inside. Side by side, no.
Boy, did he shut the door at the perfect time.
Came across the bow from left to right, slammed the door on him. Back up the hill. Thomas Nepvu, the rookie, trying to get his first victory here. Rookies are always spotlighted here at Road America. Can Sykes get a good run? Do we have a drag race to the line here at Road America? Capping off the race. Big run out of the corner there for Simon Sykes. He's trying to get a run up the hill. Nepvu looking good. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Twin checkers are out. Who's going to win it?
Pulled out.
Thomas Nepvu!
Wow.
Nepvu, the rookie, winning at Road America.
Simon Sykes' front wheels were along the center line of Nepvu's car at the stripe.
Wow.
What a big day for Thomas Nepvu, the young Canadian, for Cape Motorsports, getting the victory. There's the crew. Couple of fist bumps, and well-deserved. They put together some great race cars here this weekend.
Boy,
yesterday with D'Orlando and Kohlbecker on the podium. Today, what a run for Thomas Nepvu as he wins. Simon Sykes in second. Josh Pearson third. The first visit to the podium, I think, for all 3 of those drivers this year. Josh Green ends up in 4th. What a good run for Josh Green. Kiko Portal, the point leader, holding on. In fact, extending that lead as he finishes 5th. Juven Sundermurthy 6th. Jace Denmark in 7th. Kohlbecker 8th. Christie 9th. Miles Rowe 10th. Christian Brooks ends up 21st. Michael D'Orlando 22nd. So at least Brooks closes on D'Orlando a little bit, but wow. All went wrong for Christian Brooks. He was looking at a top 5 finish. It goes awry.
Yeah, that is just a shame for Christian Brooks. But I'm not often speechless, but I'm speechless.
That was amazing.
That was a great race again today for round 2 of the USF 2000 here at America's National Park of Speed. Rob, we're going to send you down to Victory Lane.
I'll head there now. Titus Victory Lane. You guys wrap things up.
Absolutely.
If my stats are right, for Simon Sykes, this is his first top 10. And he's in the second spot. Just incredible. Josh Pearson had a couple of fifths coming in here, and Netfu's previous best was his fifth. So, boy, they really turned it up, didn't they?
Well, we saw a lot of contact, unfortunately, in this particular race for a lot of our competitors, Greg. But that being said, at the front, again, side-by-side battles, 3 wide, a lot of give and take. That youthful exuberance, again, putting on a great show today.
Absolutely. And as we said before the race started, this is the day. You've got all the running in. You've got one race under your belt. You know what your car has. You know what the track will offer. Attack. And, you know, it cost some people, obviously, with damage, but just some amazing racing from some of these young guns. Breakthrough race for many of them, getting up into their first podiums. And, you know, your first podium in a series, that's very special. That's, you know, that's a memory that you just absolutely cherish. And we talked about it before. What does it give you? Confidence and momentum going into the next rounds. That's huge.
Well, talk about a couple other drivers. Yuven Moody ends up in the 6th spot. What was almost kind of a disastrous weekend for him in and after qualifying, kind of deep in the field, dropped back almost to about 20th spot and worked his way all the way back up into the top 6.
Oh, and for a guy that comes in with the points lead, struggles in yesterday's race, to rebound like that today, and you look at it, the only guy in the points he's racing that finished in front of him was Kiko Porto. That's a heck of a save.
And it's only 1 spot in front.
Bingo.
You're only giving up 1 position in points. And the other guy that you're worried about in the points, Christian Brooks, disastrous day. Michael D'Orlando as well, a disastrous day.
And when you're looking at the other part of it is you're looking at the point swing from 5th to 6th is not anywhere near as big as 1st to 2nd kind of a deal. So look at that. Netfu absolutely elated as he climbs out of that machine, deservedly so. Just an absolutely stellar run for this young man.
He's looking for somebody to hug right now because he is excited climbing out of that car.
Yeah, the Cape guys couldn't get over there quite quick enough. As you take a look at those results, Netfu, debut podium and win. Simon Sykes, debut top 10 and 2nd. And Josh Pearson, his first podium as well. What a great story that is.
Absolutely. An exciting podium. And, again, future is bright for the road to Indy. As we continue to to promote drivers up into the next series. So what these drivers are vying for is that next step up to get into the Indy Pro 2000. That's next for many of these drivers.
And that's we talk about the stepping stone. What we maybe haven't made a big enough deal of. If you win in this category, there's a scholarship that gives you a full season in Indy Pro 2000. If you win there, you get a scholarship, full season in lights. If you win the championship there, you get a scholarship that gives you 3 IndyCar races, including the 500.
Yeah.
So, I mean, talk about dangling carrots there. But the big thing for these guys now is if you win, you get a full season in the next ladder. That's massive.
Yeah, absolutely. So the championship is incredibly important. And we've seen in years past drivers that may be lurking 4th or 5th in points. Again, like Christian Brooks had a disastrous day, as did Michael D'Orlando. They could easily rattle off the rest of the season as on top of the podium, and the rest of the guys in the front all could be having disastrous days the rest of the year too. Everything comes down to the last race of the year in most cases with this series, and anything can happen, which is what makes this championship so hard to win, and which is why that they offer the scholarship.
And something that you don't think about, but you get a point for pole, I think 1 for fast lap, I think 1 for leading most laps. And you get down to these championships at the end of the year sometimes, and the points difference is 6-7 points. Well, if you had a couple more poles, a couple more fast laps and the like, that can spell it. So it really means you've got to be sharp all the time. And if you're going to seriously be in this points contention, when you have an issue like Sundaramurthy or whatever, you've got to have that kind of a comeback drive through the pack to keep yourself in contention. And a little bit, you got to feel for Jace Denmark. Started 14th, at one point was up to 4th. But then as Porto recovered and Sundaramurthy was coming up through the field, he found himself shuffled back just outside of that top 5. But just a shout out to Jace for a great drive as well.
And that may have been, too, a little bit of tire fall off as well. You kind of knowing that the situation is there. But, if we get a chance, we'll certainly join Rob Howden down in Victory Lane. I believe they're still staging down there. All right. So
Indy Lights is next.
Absolutely. So Indy Lights, we'll try to get podium, but if we can't, we'll go right into Indy Lights here coming up next. Indy Lights Grand Prix of Road America, powered by AER. Next on the docket here at America's National Park of Speed. And Greg, in Indy Lights yesterday, we saw a start that was just absolutely frenetic at the top. I mean, it was, I don't know if frenetic or we would use the word frantic. It was a bizarre start to that Indy Lights race yesterday.
It truly was. I mean, Devlin, DeFrancesco, nice enough to come in and help us with the call yesterday for one of the other series. Everybody at the sharp end having some problems. Kyle Kirkwood worked his way, got to the front with a beautiful pass, and decimated the field. You don't see that in these categories very often. Usually the margin of victories really, really close like we saw here.